Hey everyone! In this video, you'll see the famous Game of the Century, played by 13-year-old Robert James Fischer, who would later become the 11th world chess champion. This masterpiece was played back in 1956 in New York against Donald Byrne, one of the strongest American players of the time and multiple-time U.S. champion. After this game, the chess world realized that this kid was destined to dominate the board in the future. In this matchup, Byrne had the white pieces and Fischer commanded the black side. Before we get started, write your comments with suggestions on how to improve the video.
Donald Byrne probably thought this game would be an easy win, that he could simply crush the young teenager, but not so fast. Nf3, Nf6, G4, C6, Nc3, G7, D4, short castle. Here, Fischer was basically inviting his opponent into the king's Indian defense, but Byrne declined and instead played 5 Bf4. Most likely, he wanted to drag the young Fischer into unfamiliar territory, hoping to shake him psychologically. But as Fischer himself famously said, "I don't believe in psychology. I believe in good moves." From here, the game transitioned into the Grunfeld defense. White now plays QB3. Fischer immediately strikes back with XC4, and after White recaptures with the queen, Fischer suddenly has a weak spot on C7. To deal with this, he calmly plays C6, locking down the white knight on C3. But Byrne isn't slowing down. He seizes the initiative in the center with E4, grabbing more space on the board. Fischer responds with NBD7, preparing to reroute his knight to B6, where it will chase away the white queen. White keeps up the energetic play, bringing a pawn to the center. Fischer's knight jumps to B6, attacking the queen, and the queen is forced to retreat. Byrne chooses QC5, keeping the pressure high and giving Fischer absolutely no breathing room. But Fischer calmly develops his last minor piece with BG4, eyeing the knight on F3. And here's where Donald Byrne starts to slip. Instead of continuing with natural development, he plays BG5, moving the same piece a second time in the opening. A small inaccuracy, but against Fischer, even little mistakes can be dangerous. And now comes one of the most fascinating moves Fischer ever played in his early years. I suggest you pause the video right here and try to find it yourself. Can you spot the move?
And here it is! Fischer uncorks one of the most stunning moves of his youth, Knight A4. Where on earth did that come from? At first glance, the knight is just hanging. Surely Byrne thought the same. But after a bit of calculation, he realized he had been tricked. If White captures the knight, then comes Knight takes E4, and suddenly all of White's pieces are hanging. For example, if the queen retreats to C1, then Bishop F3, followed by Queen A5, Bishop D2, Knight takes D2, Queen takes D2, Queen takes A4. Black not only wins material, but also keeps an extra pawn, while White's entire position collapses. And don't forget, the king is still stuck in the center. In the actual game, Byrne played Queen A3. Fischer responded with Bishop takes C3, B takes C3, Knight takes E4. And just like that, Fischer had already won a pawn and reached a completely winning position. But it doesn't stop there. After Knight takes E4, Bishop E7, it looked like Black might actually be losing material. Then Fischer finds another good move, Queen B6. Now, if White dares to take the rook with Bishop F8, then after Bishop takes F8, the king is trapped in the center, and White simply doesn't have enough time to survive. For example, if White tries Queen B3, then comes the crushing Knight C3, and if White captures with Queen takes C3, then Bishop B4, and Black is still winning decisively. In the game, White played BC4.
Fischer continues his piece play with a stunning shot, knight c3. The pawn gets picked off. At first glance, the obvious idea is simple. After qf3, white can pin the bishop and calmly take it, ending up just a pawn ahead. But Byrne responds with bc5. After kf1, Byrne must have thought, all right, I survived the storm. He takes a deep breath, maybe even feeling a bit of relief. But if relief was truly at hand, this game would never have gone down in history. Because Fischer's next move is one of the most brilliant of the entire game. Pause the video right here. Can you find it? Rook e8, king f1, and the move? Bishop to e6. An absolutely brilliant idea. If white takes b5, b6, as happened in the game, Fischer completely takes the upper hand. But even other variations do not save white. For example, if queen takes c3, then c5 follows, a beautiful combination that freezes white's position. And if bishop takes e6 is played, there will be an interesting mate. Note this rare and almost surreal moment. Both of white's rooks are completely paralyzed, unable to defend their king. Another option could be bishop to d3, attacking the queen and still threatening the knight. But even in this case, Fischer calmly finds knight b5, and relying only on tactical tricks, black is still in an excellent position. This was already Fischer's signature style, responding to a blow with an even stronger blow. In the end, Byrne takes the queen, hoping that this will somehow save him. But this only led to an impressive series of knight dances, hidden checks forcing the white king to move step by step across the board. Another check, then knight c3+, and finally, a takes b6. Now look at the board. Black's pieces are perfectly coordinated, working together in harmony. Meanwhile, white's lone queen is stuck, and as we all know, a queen alone is no warrior. White tried qb4, but Fischer responds with rook a4, defending his bishop with tempo. The rook crashes into the game, and after qb6, knight d1, it's basically over. At this point, white could already resign. 2 bishops and a rook for the queen is a decisive material advantage. And remember, Fischer's other rook hasn't even joined the battle yet. The game continued. h3, rook a2, king h2, knight f2, rook e1, but this is the end. Fischer finishes with a dazzling sequence: exchange sacrifice, queen check, bishop f8, knight e1, bishop d5. Then came n3, ne4, qb8, b5, h4, h5, ne5, kg7, kg1, bc5, and Fischer's army pounced on the king. b3, ne2, nc3, rc2, mate! Can you believe it? A 13-year-old boy had just defeated an international master in such a brilliant manner. This game made it clear to the entire chess world. Bobby Fischer was not just a rising star. He was here to stay, and he was destined for greatness.